We got ourselves more Aninews Fate content. The American Holy Grail War explained. Beginner's Guide. Are you ready? It's time to take some notes.
Let's start by answering the question a lot of you must be asking. You do not need to watch any other Fate series or play the mobile game to watch Fate Strange Fake.
Oh, cancel him! Cancel him! He's like Gigook! Another shill trying to make it onto the Trash Taste podcast. Poisoning the Fate fandom as the Fate-tards tremble in fear with the rumbling noises of the just tourists about to ravage their fandom one mistake at a time. Ain't nobody calling any news out for that because he's wholesome. He doesn't engage in the Twitter bullshit.
Yes, doing so would certainly be helpful, but just like with Fate Grand Order, it's by no means needed to enjoy the story here.
Okay.
Still, given the highly complex nature of the Fate universe itself, I figure a primer on what this is and how it relates to the greater Fate timeline will be helpful to everyone.
Yeah.
So, whether you're a seasoned veteran who's watched all the anime and played the game, or just a newcomer unsure as to where to start, this will get you ready for what's looking to be one of the best anime this season.
I don't even know where I stand with that. Because, like, I'm not a sweaty veteran that's played the visual novels. But, like, I've seen the animes and I've analyzed and made content out of it. I've played the Fate Grand Order game, but I skipped every dialogue because I just wanted to fucking farm Saint Court for just pulls and gambling. I'm in a weird place where, like, I kind of know, but I don't.
I mean, with scenes like this, it'd be a shame to miss out just because you were hesitant to check it out. So, to start with the basics, Fate Strange Fake, just like every other Fate, centers around what's known as a Holy Grail War. What is a Holy Grail War? Well, at its core, it's a battle royale where 7 teams of master-servant pairs fight to the death to obtain a wish-granting artifact. Each pair will compete until only one remains, at which point the victor gains ownership over the Holy Grail.
That's right. I think that a lot of people are convinced that they need to kill each other, but at the end of the day, the masters themselves, they don't need to die. But the servants, right? The souls of the servants after they've been slain and then gets fed into the Grail shit, right? That's the important part.
Masters are the title typically given to magi chosen by the Holy Grail as suitable candidates, while servants are the spirits summoned by the Grail to fight under them. They're the entities who are usually doing most of the combat and are, to me, what makes Fate so entertaining. This is because servants aren't just powerful spirits with
Yo, the heavens feel cut here is so fucking hype.
special abilities, they're heroes from real-world legend given physical form again. So, whether they be gods like Zeus, Thor, and Artemis, mythological heroes like Thor
Kind of sus with it.
and Artemis,
Artemis, I remember this. I remember this design. I don't know shit about her, but I'm like, this looks very familiar.
mythological heroes like Hercules, the Knights of the Round Table, and Beowulf, or even real-life legends like Shakespeare, Van Gogh, or Leonardo da Vinci.
Yeah, this is Da Vinci, guys, right over here. Da Vinci has a MILF form and a lolly form. Yo, imagine they also allowed, like, no, this has to be real, right? I was thinking about, like, fictional. I mean, but, like, gods and mythos, like, fucking Zeus and that shit, that's fiction. So, like, imagine you can, like, summon in, I don't know, it's gonna, well, he wouldn't really be a, why not? Why not? They don't have the heroic spirit, the alignment good, does that matter? But, like, the more I think about it, oh, it'd be so cool if they would surpass the limits of what is considered the heroic servant or divine servant or whatever you want to summon.
Anyone who had achieved such legendary feats that their stories became immortalized are qualified to be summoned as servants in the Holy Grail War. It doesn't even matter whether they actually existed or not, since so long as
Frankenstein. She was so cute, Berserker. She wouldn't say much. She'd pop off to a 4-star, I think.
their achievements are remembered all throughout the unrelenting flow of time, that means they're a qualified candidate to be selected from what's known as the Throne of Heroes, the database of legends the Holy Grail can choose from when summoning servants.
So cool.
Each servant is then designated to a specific class, that class usually reflecting both their fighting style and the legends surrounding them.
And the coolest thing about this and the existence of Jack the Ripper, right? We have Jack the Ripper as seemingly, right, flat servant. But there's also a Jack the Ripper who is not a berserker. This one is like assassin. And she, for good reasons I can't show on screen right now, because she is like the body of like a 9-year-old girl with a G-string on and nothing else. mean, she's wearing a little bit more, but it's not much. So like, you have this Jack the Ripper entity that's presented in multiple different ways, not as a berserker class, as well as assassin class. Now, the nature of Fate Strange Fake, right? Everything seems to be very weird, strange, but also fake. The theme of fake is constantly on, of like fake saber, fake archer, fake this. You know, the first episode, right? The Whispers of Dawn, not episode 1, but episode 0, right? Time after time, you are shown something, but it's like fake out. Like Gilgamesh gets summoned, and this guy's like, haha, I did it. Psych! This other girl pulls up and steals it. Like, and there's so many fake outs. So the nature of the identity of the servants, I don't think I can even trust it anymore.
As for what those classes are, a standard Holy Grail war typically includes Saber, Lancer, Archer, Rider, Caster, Assassin, and Berserker.
7.
There have been the appearance of other classes
Ruler,
like Ruler and
Avenger.
but whether Fate Strange Fake abides by the norm is something you'll have to watch to find out.
We'll see.
Now, with 7...
The way that Francesca, right? I think that's her name, the Lolly Baba, was getting hyped up about a ruler class being degraded. Makes me think that maybe a ruler class could show up. I don't know.
7 masters and 7 servants being the participants of a Holy Grail war, they're typically the cast will follow all throughout the anime. Some...
Aw, little Rin in the background with Tokyomi, such a good dad, bro. Kenneth. Yo, this guy, no spoilers, but in Fate Zero, this guy's Lancer, and he basically suffers from being too hot. It's actually, I'm basically reducing his entire character arc to that, but it's kind of crazy. He suffers from being like a woman killer. This dot right here, this mole, he's like, damn, what a beautiful, handsome Ikemen, bro. And all of his like downfalls are because women love him and he's too hot.
The cast will follow all throughout the anime. Some masters have the support of powerful organizations and families, while others are just powerful individuals with an affinity for magic.
Yeah, this guy is like, what? A vampire, seemingly. This guy, Gilgamesh, has an army of... Well, these are supposed to be the people of her tribe, right? She's indigenous, this land, Snowfield, a bunch of fucking tourists are coming in trying to colonize her land. I wish that the clothing wasn't just corporate suits, though. It kind of goes hard, the black suits, but I don't know, like the whole indigenous vibes of it wearing corporate suits, it feels off.
And families, while others are just powerful individuals with an affinity for magic. Some are even brought into the war by chance, so there's this whole range of participants, each with their own goals and motivations. This ensures the whole...
This is the weirdest part, right? This girl right here. Zeltrich. If you don't know who Zeltrich is, he's the guy in this like mysterious omnipotent dimension talking to the phone, talking about, oh, I don't like that timeline, I don't like this one, well, what about this? Something Great Spider. Great Spider sounds like a crazy level threat. It sounds like, again, some ReZero 3 Calamity shit. Apparently it is some endgame threat you don't even want to know about. But this girl, they're like, let's use her. She's an outsider that will change everything. I don't know. And then she like has a fear of elevators. What? She has a fear of elevators, okay? And in the corridor scene, when she is kind of like going through these visions of when she's told to do this mission, there's like a hooded figure, but that hooded figure turned out to be Zabanya Assassin, the vampire, the one that the vampire wants to get. Remember the vampire guy? He summoned the assassin and he's horny for her. So I'm like, what the fuck? I don't know. It's crazy, man.
Chance, so there's this whole range of participants.
Oh, also, I missed a scene. Apparently, there was a reference to Kire. One of my favorite characters, Kotomi no Kire. In the flashback, frame by frame, there was a specific scene. I need to go back and revisit that because any opportunity to glaze Kire, I missed out on. Yeah, apparently, Kire might be related to her somehow.
So there's this whole range of participants, each with their own goals and motivations. This ensures the Holy Grail War is always unpredictable, since whether it's the unique dynamics between masters and servants or the personal stakes driving each of them forward, you're guaranteed to see all sorts of alliances, betrayals, and moments of intense action and drama. This is especially true for Fate Strange Fake, since unlike how what I've just described is most applicable to a regular Holy Grail War, the one in Fate Strange Fake is anything but. What then?
The rules don't matter. That's like a meme too. of like people trying to explain what the Fate, Holy Grail War is, but like I don't know. There's a lot of different, shows of Fate that just deviate from the rules, and it's more fun that way. And this one, I think we're just going all out because it's the whole nature of fake.
Makes this one so different? Well, for starters, the Holy Grail War here is a fake. An organization from the United States wanted to create a Holy Grail War of their own,
The
so
feds.
after gathering and recording everything they could of what's known as the Third Holy Grail War, 70 years after that, they were finally ready to replicate it. They had found their own sacred land in Nevada to have it in, then after meticulously copying every aspect of the Third Holy Grail War that they could, they finally implemented the ritual to start their own.
Artificial.
The thing is, despite every effort to copy that Third Holy Grail War exactly as it was, not only was it far too complex for them to do so, that war from 1939 had several problems of its own. So, in short, they had missed key elements and copied a war that was faulty to begin with.
Great. I'm sure that's gonna go well. The meme of that, the Holy Grail, whoever wins the Holy Grail at the end never gets the wish granted, is such a funny thing. I mean, a little bit of spoilers for like Heaven's Feel, right? That's different, but I'm gonna guess this time too, ain't nothing gonna get done.
You'd think this would make the copy less than the original or inherently weaker, but instead it just makes the war fundamentally different.
Okay.
You see, where a normal Holy Grail War would have rules, safeguards, and class constraints, this fake one opens the door for all sorts of anomalies.
YOLO.
Key differences like no saber class and the blurring of what can even be a servant. In Fate Strange Fake, the definition of what qualifies as a servant is completely different, so much so that the legends summoned here make the ones from Fate Stay Night look like toddlers.
Okay. Are we talking about Enkidu right now with the nature of a divine versus heroic?
I won't spoil any of the identities not yet known, but Gilgamesh, who's widely known to be the strongest when he tries, literally locks in from day one. Initially, he was gonna sideline himself until someone worthy showed up, but there's more than a few servants in this war that require his full attention.
That's the most hype part. The death. Enkidu's natural counter, apparently, right? That personification of death is what I'm just going off by. The little girl. Man, Lolly and Eldritch nightmare horror is such a good trope. Something about the nature of like an innocent little girl, right? Versus like cosmic fucking horror. It's a good match.
More than a few servants in this war that require his full attention. Now, some of you might not know how crazy that is to hear, but if you've watched Fate and you know just how powerful Gilgamesh is, knowing he's gonna be fighting seriously is insane.
Yeah, apparently there's like misinformation of people saying that this is the strongest Gilgamesh ever in all of Fate. Then there's like a different series called CCC. I think it's acronym. You can go find out for yourself. Apparently that's the strongest Gilgamesh version.
It makes you wonder who it is he'll be up against. Even if you were to take every servant across the Fate universe in its entirety, you'd only find a small
King Hassan
handful who would even stand a chance against a serious Gilgamesh.
Yo, they're kind of hyping up. King Hassan passes? King Hassan passes? The round table knights. Gwyneth, Gawain. This dude was a nightmare to fight in Fate Grand Order. I hate him. His bullshit fucking, I forget the skill, but the sun is out, it's daylight. Bro, it's fucking cancer. I mauled it so hard during that fight when I played the campaign. That shit pissed me off.
Chance against a
This is was this a Lancer one? Karna, I think, the Lancer guy, right?
serious Gilgamesh. That being the case,
I didn't realize the Karna guy, has that much clout. Okay. I just thought he was kind of just flashy and flamboyant, but okay.
to have multiple in one series means we're in for a treat.
Yeah.
Now, with this fake war not having the saber class, that means there's only 6 servants.
Can we believe that though? Like, basically, you shouldn't trust anything in this show. I think everything is fake. That's the whole entire point, right? Like when you watch Nisei Monogatari, with complete tangent right now, Monogatari series, right? Nisei Monogatari, also the whole theme is like fake story, right? Everything you're believed to see, it's actually, it's like a different theme to it. If it's like, nah, that's like a different meaning to it. So this shit, I'm not gonna believe any of the rules. Like, dude, like when Ayaka supposedly summoned. I don't even know how that shit works, right? Because she was in the middle of the summoning circle, and there's a different catalyst in the box apparently, and something was happening, and then Ayaka's fucking hand touches the summoning circle shit, and then you have this seemingly saber-looking guy pull up in the form of a blonde man that could be King Arthur, but probably isn't, because Artoria, we've seen that one, right? Is this Saber? Could be Archer. Why not double Archer? I don't think they've ever mentioned about duplicate heroes, right? And the guy is shooting beams, and all archers, they do everything but fucking shoot arrows, so like, I'm going with Archer class, man.
That's not to say there won't be more though, since this fake war actually serves as the primer for a true Holy Grail war. I won't get into the specifics as to how that works, but what that means is that an additional 7 servants will be summoned along with the initial 6.
Huh?
Will be a fake archer, lancer, rider, caster, assassin, and berserker, then a true version of all plus a singular true saber.
Don't even trust him. He's lying. Everything is fake.
So that's 13 expected servants from the get-go, each bearing a hidden identity like Gilgamesh or the berserker from episode 0, Jack the Ripper.
All this identity, they're being so fucking sus with it, man.
Each will also have their own unique ultimate abilities, and all will be put to the test against the rest.
Okay.
Another aspect that makes this American Holy Grail War so different is that in classic America fashion, the American organization likes to use their guns.
Light them up! Faldius just doing this, and then this. It's actually kind of cool.
Where normally duels in Japan are fought with magic 1v1, immediately we're shown the more direct method the Americans like to use to take out their opponents.
Shoutouts to Kiritsugu, man. Man, Fate Zero, Kiritsugu and Maya, they fucking tore that shit up with their guns.
It's a new element to the war we've really only ever seen explored in Fate Zero with the character Kirin.
Mage assassins!
Just not to the extent of an organization employing their own private hit squad. That said, I do think it'll be interesting to see how modern technology matches up against magic like this.
I don't know, like... Did Kiritsugu ever use his guns on a servant? He was usually taking out the masters, right? No, an actual servant. Like would a heroic servant when shot by a gun? Just trying to think to the phase zero. I don't think so, right? No. That's gonna be interesting. Like, what happens if Gilgamesh actually gets shot and the defense is down, you know? Like, he got shot in the head. How would that work?
I do think it'll be interesting to see how modern technology matches up against magic like this.
I'm expecting them to drop a bomb at the end. We're not going true America fashion until with just guns. I'm honestly waiting for them to just drop a nuke on Snowfield and say, oh, it's just a gas leak. Whoops.
In any case, this unknown American organization is led by a character named Faldius, and as of episode 0, they seem to be the ones responsible for creating this fake Holy Grail war. This would imply that they want the Holy Grail the most, and as we've seen so far, are willing to do anything to acquire it.
It feels like they're like the CIA, I don't know, the FBI, like a secret organization that is, like basically they're the feds, and I feel like Orlando, right? There's a connection to Faldius to Orlando, but Orlando is like the local cops. Does that example make sense? I don't know if that's accurate, but Orlando has mage background. He is working in Snowfield as like the local cop. But beyond that, authorities like the feds and Faldius in the secret organization is that.
Another faction are the indigenous people of Snowfield, the protectors of the land led by Tine.
Yeah. As
the people who lived in the region over 1,000 years before Snowfield was even made into Snowfield, all they want is to reclaim the land that they were driven out of by Faldius' organization.
Ooh, colonizers!
Luckily, they have Gilgamesh on their side to assist with that, but as I said before, he's up for a challenge. Also present is the international group known as the Mages Association, a long-standing organization that has worked to control, conceal, and develop magecraft for millennia.
Clock Tower.
They had caught whiff of America trying to do something that they shouldn't, and as a result had already been conducting a secret investigation of Snowfield before the fake Holy Grail War had even started.
It feels like the Mage Association Clock Tower people are just kind of like very pretentious bums that find it like, how dare these monkeys in America set up a fake war? And based on like what Lord Rongal was talking, you know, he's like, these filthy people without any culture or history of maids trying to do this shit. Disgusting. Waver, the current Mr. El Meloy too, right? The title of like the greatest mage in the school stuff. He doesn't seem to really give a fuck. He's like, none of my business, I'm staying out of it. Rongal's really triggered at this and he like wants to stop it.
Affiliated with them is the character Flat, a student of the teacher Lord Elmeloy.
Yeah.
Some of you may recognize him from Lord Elmeloy's case
Waver.
files, but if you've watched Fate Zero, then you might be more familiar with him as being the grown-up version of Waver.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love how there's also like shades of Ryder that Waver sees in Flat when he's talking. This girl Gray, the more I look at her, the more I realize like she has a saber face too. And the hardest thing is saber face is a term used in the Fate series where because of an artist named Takeuchi who draws a lot of characters with this template that looks like Artoria, the identity seems all similar. But I was like looking at this, I'm like, Saber, is that you? No, it's just Saber face. The hood is cute, but always wearing a hoodie, right? Great, a very like popular character. People love this character.
But if you've watched Fate Zero, then you might be more familiar with him as being the grown-up version of Waver. Either way, those are connections you don't really need to be concerned with, as Flat is the current master of Jack the Ripper.
Yeah, and those details you don't really need to know, but again, if you are like a Fate connoisseur, to be able to appreciate moments like these off of references from other Fate series, that's where you get the full experience. Now, the average person that has no idea what they're missing out on, of course, it's not going to hinder their experience, it's just that you could get more out of it. But still using this as a starting point, let's say they go watch Fate Zero and then they realize Waver, young Waver, but they already know old Waver. And then there could be a different experience in that way too. So that's why I think that watching Fate Strange Fake is not that big of a deal. To the purists, it's going to be like blasphemy, but I genuinely think that starting here and then watching other shows is going to be its own unique experience.
The other major faction is the Snowfield Police Division, led by a man named Orlando.
Orlando.
This is the group I'm most intrigued by, as in episode 0, he somehow equipped the members of his force with noble phantasms.
Yeah, they were kind of hyping that shit up, right? Like, these are... We trying to make fake shit to surpass the real... I'm getting vibes of Emiyashiro here, in the way that Emiyashiro went about to fight Gilgamesh, right? And Fate Stay Night and stuff, so... What? And he also has fake caster... that is doing information networking, but also he has the ability to create these fake that can surpass the real?
These are the weapons you'll see owned by servants, usually capable of incredibly powerful abilities. They're the embodiment of what they are as a hero, and as such symbolize the very essence of their legend.
Cool.
That being the case, to see ordinary humans wield such legendary weapons not only breaks the rules established in previous Grail Wars, it suggests Orlando possesses resources and knowledge far beyond that of a typical master.
I think his team is cooked. Here's a reason. If you're not aware of Fate, you're not going to get this, but in every Fate series, the Lancer class gets fucked over. I've noticed this. And canonically, Lancer also has, like, basically in these servants, they have, like, attributes, luck, and a bunch of others. Specifically for Lancer class, their luck is shit. Okay? Take that, add to Orlando's forces. Yeah, he got a bunch of people and they gave him the Hogu equivalent like weapons. But what does he say? We have that Celtic blood in you. Like, these people are like Celtic blood off of Kuhulain, whatever, right? So now you have this attachment, right? You have this, theme of Lancers having no luck. His entire force is dripped out with the blood of that Celtic, like, Lancer lore. I don't know. The ones who fought Ku? Okay, maybe it's a bit different, right? But I'm just saying, it's a schizo theory. And I'm not saying they have direct blood of the Lancers, but simply based off that, I'm like, oh, is this going to be good or bad?
It suggests Orlando possesses resources and knowledge far beyond that of a typical master. I mean, the guy is pretty smart to know Gilgamesh is by far his biggest threat.
And I think it'd be so funny if he doesn't get Gilgamesh matchup at all. Like, this is the guy that, like, studies for one thing on the exam thinking this is the most important part, and that doesn't even show up on the exam. Can you imagine that happens? I mean, fake out, right? Think about the themes of Fate, right? And it's gonna be faking it, and he's going all in on when, and you don't even get Gilgamesh. I don't know.
It's tough to say where Snowfield PD will land in terms of good guy or bad guy, but I like the idea of regular humans trying to fight against servants.
I don't think good or bad. No, good or bad. There definitely is a alignment of those affinities in Fate. Like Kotomi Nikire, for example, being the antithesis of Emiyashiro, right? Orlando, he just has a goal to win. He doesn't seem like an evil person. He seems very righteous. A little bit performative. I like it though. He's aura farming. He's an interesting character. He also makes for some great slice of life moments because he's so serious all the time. But like when his caster bro calls him up, there's some funny moments there. And also Francesca making fun of his performance, saying, oh, you know, he's like, wow, did you fucking practice that skit? So fun character.
Of good guy or bad guy, but I like the idea of regular humans trying to fight against servants. Most will probably just end up being cannon fodder, but the best parts of servant fights were always the noble phantasms anyway. So as long as they
trigger off,
they don't die before casting one, I'll be pretty happy. In any case, these major factions aren't the only forces at play here. The individual masters could be a threat all on their own, and I haven't even talked about the main master and servant yet. All that, however, is best found out watching yourself, since another great part of Fate is the developing story.
The secrets.
Even if you set aside all the complicated magic stuff, you can find a just as captivating story focusing only on the Battle Royale. Keep in mind, this is an alternate timeline taking place after the events of the 5th Holy Grail War, so if you've watched Unlimited Blade Works or Heaven's Feel, this is an alternate world that combines elements of Tsukihime into it.
Cool.
That's right. Fate Strange Fake, at its core, is pure fan service. It's a glorious combination of various elements from across the Type Moon universe. I know I said you didn't have to watch any other Fate to enjoy this, but
you don't
to
have
fully
to
appreciate every little reference and detail this version of Fate is very clearly full of.
Like here, Waver being gay for Ryder, he kept Ryder's old like clothes and hair with it, bro, right? Now you can like meme off of that and be like, oh my god, I always knew that Twink wanted him, right? But this shit's gonna go over your head if you've never seen Phase Zero.
You would quite literally need a degree in the study of the Nasuverse. I mean, the first volume of the source material was fully written as an April Fool's joke.
Really?
It was a love letter to the.
That's even funnier. April Fools, haha, just a prank. The whole nature of Fate Strange Fake.
Fans that bridge the gap between Fate Stay Night and Tsukihime.
Cool.
So, don't go into this feeling like you're missing out, since unless you've been keeping up with the Nasuverse since its inception 25 years ago, not every callback will be evident to you. Instead, I would get into this for the spectacle it's intended to be. A passion project that celebrates everything Fate usually has to offer. That's incredibly animated over-the-top battles, thrilling clashes between unique characters and ideologies, and an in-depth story accessible to newcomers and rewarding to veterans. At first, I'm sure it might be a little bit daunting, but I promise if you push forward, it'll all be worth it. Trust me when I say you won't be disappointed. If you do need a little more convincing, then you can check out the 1-hour prologue for it over on Crunchyroll. Episode 1 is already out too, then the series will start airing weekly today.
Let's go!
Any questions you can always ask down in the comments, and I'm sure either myself or the resident Fate experts will be happy to help. I'll also be making servant profiles in the future, so if you want to see more Fate Strange Fake, then be sure to subscribe with notifications on.
Give the man a like. Go juice him up. I love Aninews content. I hope that Fate, Strange Fake, and To Be Sentenced to Be a Hero and many other content pops off. I hope that he even tries to go Jujutsu Kaisen. I feel like JJK, the nature of the battle shonen, doesn't really have that much overlap with shows like this. And that's the tricky thing, right? Myself included, it's hard for me to really pop off in any single way because of how different the fandoms could be. But it would be great to see that content from him too. Anyways, hopefully you guys had more of an understanding of what Fate's really going on. It's just this simple. People summon servants. These servants are like fictional heroes and real people. They fight. Have fun. Please go check out Aninews. See you next time.